Good morning. It is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, you can expect to see that reflected back to you in your interactions with others, in your external environment. And if you want to see change, you actually have to shift and make change within you. Let's down a little bit. Just ignore my messy room today. I am feeling a little under the weather, so I apologize if my energy is a little bit low. Just an announcement. From now on, I will be checking in on divine masculine and feminine energy on Mondays and Saturdays. So Mondays we'll do the collective tune in like we have always done it. Saturdays I will be doing the extended Tell Me Everything reading that you can view if you are a member or a subscriber, or if you are present at the live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday mornings. I will also do one Divine Masculine channeled love letter during the week, and then all of my other readings are going to be focused on developing and pursuing our the feminine energy. So our emotional well-being, whatever creativity that we are wanting to express, how to pursue your passions. Those are the kind of readings that I'm going to be doing primarily from now on, whether it's popular or not, because I'm frankly done, tired, fed up with doing divine masculine feminine readings personally. I'm finding that while it may be very popular and a lot of people want to see them, I don't know how helpful it really is, because I'm getting the same repetitive comments again and again, even from the same people that have been watching my videos for years. And I just think that the imbalance that's in the connection between you and your person has more to do with not prioritizing your own feminine energy. And so I want to help people with that. So that's what the direction my channel is going to go in. I hope that you like it. I hope you benefit from it. I hope you're as tired of knowing what the masculine is doing as I am, because who gives a fuck at this point? Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want you to do is just ask yourself, what do you think would make you feel better right now in regards to your connection? So what do you think, if this happened, I would feel so much better than I do right now in this connection? So just try to imagine that event, whatever it is, and just take a moment to imagine that it's really happening to you right now. And we're not going to do a deep visualization on this today, but just get a sense. I want this to happen, and I would feel so much better if it did happen. So as you're imagining this thing happening, there's probably some feelings that you are anticipating you will experience due to this event. And it's really those feelings that you're after. And you're thinking that, this thing happening is the thing that will give you those feelings. And maybe it will, and maybe it won't. For instance, the best example I can give of this is when we think we just want communication. But we don't just want communication. We don't want communication that's going to make us feel bad. We don't want the person to be like, hey, I'm communicating with you, and I really love someone else. Like, that's not the communication we want. So you want to specify that you want communication from your person, and you want it to either be closure, which we could crave. We could be like, just tell me that you don't want to pursue this anymore and that you're letting me go, and then actually do that, and then I will too. Or it could be, I want to take this to another level, and I want to experience the feeling of being told that I want to stay with you and I want to work it out long term. So just be mindful that sometimes when you think you want something, it's the feelings you're going to get from the thing that are way more important to you. Not sometimes, all the time. And this card that I'm holding is what will actually consistently give us the feelings that we are after in this connection. The Empress. So what will actually make us feel the feelings that we are seeking is really honoring the feminine within self, which is why I'm changing the track that my channel goes in for the most part, and trying to help prioritize and honor our creativity and our emotions. And so, because I think that the biggest problem that we have in our collective is emotional unavailability, both ourselves and the people that we choose. And so, really being comfortable and feeling emotions is going to be a big part of the work that I'm doing. Really tuning into what you want to create or make in the world. And there can be lots of things, there doesn't have to be just one thing. I saw somebody post yesterday a comment about having a problem of having a lot of passions and then pursuing them and then kind of getting tired of them. And I was like, what if that's okay? What if we live in a time period where we're actually encouraged to try a lot of different things instead of a time period where we weren't even allowed to do anything except for stay at home and do the dishes or take on our father's business and continue that business, or like we have been born into an age where we can reinvent ourselves again and again and again. So if you have one creative passion that you pursued and it doesn't even feel that exciting anymore, that's happened to me with music, then allow yourself to pursue another thing. But just as long as you are really finding some way to express that creative energy within you, um, and honor the emotions that are within you. And emotional availability is a big theme that is going to help you in your connection with anybody, not just with the person that you are hoping to be in a union with. So, honoring the divine feminine energy, feeling it, stepping into your power in the power of your emotions and the power of your creativity is the theme for this week. All right, let's take a look at the divine masculine overall headspace. We have here the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So I was going to say the masculine is working on letting go, but I immediately heard I can't let go. So there is something that the masculine energy is fearing, because it's definitely fear based. I can't let go of something. So I am assuming it is perhaps the divine feminine herself. It could be I can't let go of what other people think of me. It's too important to me. It's a part of who I am. It's a part of how I've defined myself for all these years. It can be I I can't let go of needing to have like financial security. Like that feeling has to be within me in order for me to feel confident to pursue things in the world. Um, I'm just saying, I love your new direction, girl. I think the divine is aligned with the current. Yes, I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna call you out right now. Please don't be offended. Stop calling the person the karmic. I don't want you to because when you call the person the karmic, I posted a video about this, so that's why I'm gonna take this moment to say this. When you call the person the karmic, you are dehumanizing that person. Is that person the girlfriend, the wife, the mother, the daughter, the son? Like you need to identify who the person is. Obviously, you're on a live platform, so you don't want to say what their name is. But if you're speaking about them to someone, you need to say their name, because when you refer to this person as the karmic, you are lacking empathy, compassion, understanding. It doesn't matter if that person has been, in your perception, a negative force in your person's life. This journey is about unconditional love for all beings, and blaming an external person for your person's choices or decisions is just a way for you to not take accountability for the fact that the person that you are focused on is not prioritizing you and choosing you. And it makes it seem like that's somehow coming from outside of yourself. But there is a belief that you have, a mindset that you have about being prioritized, which is why I want to start emphasizing the feminine energy within ourselves. Why would a person prioritize us in our feminine energy if we don't prioritize ourselves and our feminine emotions and creativity? And so that's I just want to remind you of that. That karmic is a person They have feelings for your person. They are actually closer related to you than your person is to you at this point, because you are both dealing with the same emotional unavailability, the same, I mean, that person is, you know, not being honest with their feelings to them or to you. And so actually you can find a place to feel connected to that person who's on the receiving end of the lessons that you are not having to receive, or the ones that you are receiving at the same time simultaneously. So definitely find a way to have love and compassion for that person, and honor and respect them the way that your person is not doing, because your person isn't honoring or respecting that person by being dishonest with them about the feelings they have for someone else. And if they are being upfront about it and that person is being clingy and holding on and not being able to let go, then you should have a compassion for that, because that is how you feel about your person too. Um, I recently, you can go and watch some of the replays I've done over the last week, but I saw a film that I watched when I was in high school that was extremely formative to me, about Françoise Gillot, who was the lover of Picasso, and she was the only one of his women who was strong enough to leave him. Every other one just stayed with him while he just had all these other women, and they just adored him and worshipped him. And it was very humbling to watch that and to realize that I had similarly put my person on a pedestal and allowed him to treat me that way. And yes, Picasso's drawings of Francoise are some of his best drawings, because she was actually one of the feminines in his life who was most empowered, actually. But he ruined her career. He prevented all of her art from being seen by others. And I had to have a moment of truth, painful truth, realizing that my person has actually actively ruined my career in ways that I probably don't even fully know or understand. But some ways I do know. Some things that he has done have actively prevented me from growing in my career. And in that film, Picasso actually has a lot of compassion for the other, or not Picasso, Francoise has a lot of compassion for Picasso's other women. It's what distinguishes her. She won't fight with them. She views Picasso as the one who is wrong, and actually not Dora Maar or any of his other women that he was with. So that's just an aside. But interesting. So let go, just like the masculine is like, I can't let go of this. Let go of some of those things that you're holding on to about the other person or people in your person's life. Um, Most of them are acting from self-preservation, and some of them are acting from the love they feel for the person. It sucks when you love somebody who doesn't want to be with you. You know that that's true because that's happened to you on multiple occasions. It's been a pattern that stemmed from this kind of dynamic that you've seen. And don't apologize. And like I said, I'm sorry to have called you out. It's just, you had said it, and it needed to come to light. So actually, thank you, because you gave us an opportunity to teach that lesson. All right. So while the divine masculine is having this feeling of really having a hard time letting go of something, the divine feminine is having a feeling of not wanting to give up and walk away, or not wanting to surrender. So this is actually very similar. This is the Five of Swords in reverse. This can also be about her not being as conflicted anymore about whether to stay or to go, because that was a reading that came up today. Not today, yesterday, on TikTok, is just sort of like no longer going back and forth in her mind. Is this person somebody I'm supposed to be with or not? It's sort of like, well, kind of, it doesn't matter really, because maybe this is somebody I'm supposed to be with, but I can't control it. I can't control whether or not they're with me or not. But she's not wanting to give up fully. She's not wanting to surrender fully to I think to the connection. So both of them are feeling like the masculine's like, I don't want to let go of this, or I can't let go. This is I can't. And divine feminine is like, I don't want to give up. I've worked so hard. I've overcome so many ideas. I've changed my mindset so much. And it just seems unfortunate that I would have to let go of this right now. Underlying all thoughts and decisions for the divine masculine is the Eight of Swords. So this is really being trapped in your own mind, not being able to see a way out, feeling like if you spread your wings, you're, in this case, you won't be able to fly. And there's nothing you can do about that until all of these swords are removed, and the swords are really these thoughts or whatever. So masculine kind of embracing the truth that it's his thoughts that are keeping him from spreading his wings, but he doesn't necessarily know how to remove these swords. This can also be him thinking that the divine feminine is very guarded against him, and he doesn't know how to penetrate the boundaries she's put up. But I gotta tell you, the only reason that a person would think that is because they were trying to come incorrectly. Because if a boundary is not a wall, right? A boundary is a demarcation. It's basically got a sign on it that says, if you would like to enter this castle, go through the front door. Don't try to sneak through the back. Just go to the front door and knock, and the door will be opened. And the masculine is in this headspace of being like, well, I can't get to her the way I used to always get to her. Yeah, that's right. That's what a healthy boundary is. The way that you were getting to her was wrong, and you have to find another way that's not the Seven of Swords, right? That's not underhanded. And the divine feminine energy in the heart space is underlying all her thoughts and decisions is this Six of Pentacles, which is about balance of give and take, and it's about generosity and reciprocation. So you can see that the feminine feels, I can't reciprocate with the masculine because he's not trying to come through the front door. And the masculine is like, well, I can't reciprocate with her because I can't get through the back door. It's just an illusion, right? The masculine can be as generous as he likes if he shows up at the front gate and knocks on the door visibly. And he is just still in this guarded energy of feeling that he can't do that. And if that's the case, that's because there are some thoughts that he has about the people around him that he can't let go of, you know? And it's unfortunate because the divine feminine is absolutely ready to be generous with him when she sees some generosity. It's not that tall of an order. It's pretty straightforward. Why does the masculine expect to get something for nothing? The song that came on today, that is the channeled song for this, was the song Nothing. And it's a cute song. You should listen to it by Bruno. Was it Bruno Major, I think? Why does he think he can get something for nothing? And you're like, wow, this asshole, he thinks he can get something for nothing. Well, it's because you've been giving him something for nothing for a long time. You were giving him something for nothing. It's only shocking now that you're not giving because you're not getting nothing. And he's like, why isn't it work? Why isn't that working? There's no reason for that to be true, because for you in this dynamic, you were always willing to give him something for nothing because you valued him, because he was Picasso, because he was a genius, because you forgave him for, he couldn't choose me because his job is so important, or, he couldn't choose me because, he has to do right by his other family. And maybe that's true, but then it's on you because you chose this person, a person who could give you nothing, and you gave them everything. And so that Six of Pentacles, remember, it's reciprocal energy. You are getting what you're giving. because you're giving to somebody who you know can give you nothing. So you are getting nothing in return. The first thing on the divine masculine's mind, I'm sorry. So sorry. We have the judgment card. We have this idea of forgiveness, and this forgiveness bringing peace, and just really wanting and desiring peace, but also being very afraid of Judgment Day. Judgment Day is where the reckoning takes place. It's where you are about to, be able to or have to take accountability for the nothing that you were giving, and the all the taking that you were doing, and how imbalanced and how unfair. And it's not fun. It's not a fun energy, but it promises you salvation. It promises you a transformation and a rebirth as soon as you can face up to this energy. And of course, you have to forgive yourself first, because if your person gives you forgiveness, but you've not forgiven yourself, you don't trust the person's forgiveness. You think, oh, they're holding it against me, because you're holding it against yourself. Divine Feminine, first thing for her is the Six of Cups. So we can see here a reconciliation with a past person, or reconciling our past. But for her, there is a feeling of nostalgia and innocence, that she wishes could be reborn. And she does wish she could have peace in regards to the past. The current energy the Divine Feminine is in, the Divine Masculine, we see the Magician card. So this masculine energy in the past has really tried to manipulate the situation, to move all the pieces on the board. But I think he's facing a realization of the limitations of power that happen when you think you're the one that is the only creator. If you are not co-creating with spirit, your creations really don't take off. And I'm kind of experiencing this where I'm like, I'm doing all these things and nothing is happening. And it's because I think I'm in control of the situation. I think the things that I'm doing are what is going to cause everything to happen for me, when I'm not really regarding the energy of the divine in that process. But I do see the masculine wanting to tap into this power to create something, to make something new that has died, or to change something in some way. The Divine Feminine, there's her Eight of Swords. So we have, what the masculine knows, that the reason that she is in this energy of being guarded is because of the manipulation that took place in the connection. If you make promises, my person made promises to me from a record he released in 2017. It's 2022 now. Like, none of those promises have come to pass. He knows that, right? He's aware. And he used those promises, and he used those illusions and those secret messages and those just underhanded kind of Seven of Swords things to try to keep me from leaving him, because he knew he couldn't actually give me what he said he wanted to, but he just didn't want me to leave him. And I go back to the Surviving Picasso film, where he sends letters, he gets letters. He tells I can't think of what her name is. It's the blonde one that had 2 children with him, or had a daughter with him. He tells her, you have to write to me every day, twice a day, telling her that she's got to write to him. And he comes and visits them on Sundays and Thursdays. And then he goes and fucks Francois and has another family with Francois. And he has another wife that he's cheating on with this blonde woman. And then there's Dora Maar, who he's literally destroyed. And each one of those women, he expects them to continue to communicate with him, because he can't let them go, because he can't stop being admired by them. Like, that's the part of us that is narcissistic, is the part that didn't get some kind of love that we needed so badly when we were being brought up in this world. Like, there is some part of us that is a void. And narcissism is this feeling of trying to fill that void. It's like we get stuck in the toddler years, because as a toddler you think I'm the only person in the world and everything revolves around me, and then eventually you start to realize, oh no, we're all connected and there's other things going on, we influence each other, we have to reciprocate. Like, that's what you learn. But for some reason, usually because of some trauma, our brain stays in that state of being narcissistic, of thinking that we are the center of the world, that we have to receive all the love and attention. If we don't, we're going to die. When Francoise is like, I'm leaving you, Picasso crumbles and starts crying against the wall, and he's like, oh, I'm going to die. Does that make any sense? Because Francoise is home all the time by herself, acting as a slave, doing what Picasso needs her to do, while he goes and lives her life, and he doesn't think of her being there, abandoned by him, as killing her. That's just the inability to see anything except your own suffering, right? So this masculine has done all this manipulating of the feminine to keep her from leaving him, because he feels, because he doesn't have love for himself, and so he keeps seeking it outside of self. And this is the same thing, this is the same reason that we hold on to people that don't love us, because, or that don't show us the love, even if they feel the love. We hold on to them because we feel that just them being there and loving us, even if they can't actually show it to us, at least there's someone who loves us, right? At least there's, even though that's not love. Love is communication. Love is compassion and empathy and understanding and generosity. It is not just admiration and obsession. That's not love at all. And it feels like it is, because in that case we are the focus of the attention. So it feels like love, but that's not all that exists in a loving relationship. And that's what we're learning on this journey. Wow. Where this is going, what this masculine is trying to get, what he's trying to create or manifest, is what I just said: love. We have the lovers. So all of these actions that the masculine has engaged in have just been to love. So all the chasing that you did, all the messages you wrote that go unread or don't get responded to, all of the machinations, all of the spells, all of the rituals, all of the Reiki sessions, the motivation is just to get this love, to get this validation of this loving feeling, because it didn't come. You didn't feel it coming from somewhere else, and so you're like, this is where it has to come from. I can't let go of it coming from this person. um Loving myself, it seems bleak. Like, just loving myself, that just seems like, who cares? Like, I don't care. Like, I've definitely had moments in my life where I felt like that. Like, I don't give a fuck if I love myself. Big fucking deal. That's like, so, but that's everything. That's everything. It's weird because the narcissist is somebody who loves only himself, but doesn't feel it at all. And that's something to really embrace. Like, the person who responds to the narcissist feels only love for the person and doesn't feel love for themselves at all. And then you kind of go back and forth in that dynamic, like the lemniscate, the eternal back and forth. That's what it is. It's switching back and forth from that, um really, that dysfunction, right? The anxious avoidant attachment styles, the narcissist empath paradigm, and you both flow in that. And probably your masculine person that you focus on acted as someone else's empath, and they had a narcissist. And now your dynamic is you switch back and forth, the narcissist and empath roles. But ultimately, the masculine wants to seek forgiveness, and he wants to be able to create love in his life. Divine feminine, 5 of Pentacles in reverse. So another 5. You want to get over these temporary blocks. It's funny because the health issue I'm having is literally it's a block. Like, I have a block in my body, and if it doesn't pass through, I will have to get surgery. And so it's like wanting to remove what is blocking you from receiving love. The masculine wants to make someone love him. The feminine wants to open up to receive love. And it's why they can't quite get it together. When I first started shuffling songs this morning, the first song that came on was a Barbra Streisand song about why are we at war with one another or something. I can't think of the title of it, but it's something about being at war. And it's like you're fighting for the same thing, but you're fighting against each other in that dynamic. It's really difficult. It's like the masculine is like, no, I will make you love me, and which, remember, is your side of self that is like, I will make this person love me. And the feminine is part of self is like, I just want to open up to receive love. I don't want to have to force it. I want to open to it and receive it. For those of you that are joining, I am live streaming this to YouTube at the same time. So if you haven't seen the beginning of the reading, you can go over to Tune In Tarot YouTube and pull the time back and start at the beginning if you'd like to, or you can watch the rest of the replay later this evening if you can't stick around for the whole reading as well. And yes, this is a collective reading. And depending on my pain level, I will try to do some readings after. If you're already a subscriber or if you have subscribed today, I will read 2 cards for you. And if you you can also book $22 readings today if you'd like to. Okay, so Divine Masculine. Clarifying this energy of reconciliation about the past. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess in reverse. So what is he sorry about? I'm sorry that it took me so long to find a way to trust feminine energy. I haven't been able to trust myself, my intuition, my emotions. I haven't been able to tune into it, to tap into it, to believe in it. And it's taken me time to make those changes. I've had to learn how to close out cycles with people in my past. That's been very difficult for me. That feeling of I can't let go. But I'm sorry about this. I feel this. I need forgiveness for how long it's taken me to trust in this connection, to trust in the masculine feminine balance and that exists between us. To trust in you, divine feminine. So he really seeks forgiveness for that and acknowledges that there is an element of divine timing in this process. Divine feminine, interesting, because what's clarifying, the reconciling the past is the moon. So this is very similar to the High Priestess energy. The High Priestess is literally the goddess of the moon. This is about the subconscious. It's about mystery and secrecy, deeply hidden things, deeply held feelings, deep emotions, and trusting in your dreams and trusting in your fantasies that you've created. So for the masculine, this is a feeling of like, I'm sorry I didn't trust you enough to share my emotions with you. For the feminine energy, it's a feeling of, I'm afraid that you will never share your feelings or emotions with me. And so that's what both of you have been working out. Clarifying the Magician and the Eight of Swords. We're seeing the masculine here with the Three of Pentacles energy. So this is about wanting to build a sanctuary, wanting to build something in the material, about making something 3D. It can also be about something that is always getting in between, something that keeps coming between you and prevents you from being able to build something or be in partnership. But what I'm seeing is he wants to manifest this 3D union. He actually wants to do something to create partnership between the two of you. And the feminine energy, we're seeing the King of Wands. So this is really deeply desiring that the masculine energy would take action in the 3D, like enough energetic exchanges. Let's actually have a physical one in reality, and you need to initiate it. You need to be the one that speaks to this. You need to come forward and communicate your desire to have partnership with me. But definitely feeling like I have to take action myself in the 3D if I want to see, if I want to build security, build a sanctuary of my own. And then clarifying the Lovers and the Five of Pentacles, we have the masculine with the Chariot energy and the Ten of Wands. So really, really wanting to put some kind of a burden down that he's been carrying and surrendering it, because the Chariot is all about surrendering your ego and just letting the divine direct your course. It's about rushing forward into something, and 10 also being about completion. So, you know, the masculine wants to like be able to finally unburden, to share and express and communicate ideas, concepts about love. And the divine feminine, interestingly, has the Two of Wands here, which is that energy of asking for something and then having to wait for it. It's making a decision or a choice and then waiting to see what happens after you've made the choice. There's a restless, bold energy, very similar to the Chariot, because it's like wanting to push things or move things forward, but not really having it be in your control, which can be a frustrating aspect of this. And if you're looking at this all together, unblocking love means surrendering the burden of the twin flame dynamic, because this is also associated with the Two of Wands. So surrendering this burden of, you know, having labeled somebody as a soulmate when really they are just a person who has taught you this lesson about narcissist empath dynamics, anxious avoidant attachment, and many other things that, you know, are helpful and have guided you. You know, Françoise Gillot is 100 years old. She was interviewed last year at 99, and she was asked, do you regret the 10 years you spent with Picasso? And she said, absolutely not. I do not regret it. I learned how to be a strong person from Picasso. I learned more about art. I really, I learned my own strength and my own talents and abilities. And, you know, I loved the time that I spent with him and learned those things. So it's kind of doing the same thing. It's putting down this fixation on this single individual and no longer, you know, needing that person to represent this ideal, and just allowing them to have taught you something, and then being able to move on from that person when they are incapable of giving to you. And the truth is, for as long as that person feels incapable, they will be. So it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter. It's because it's never been about you. It doesn't matter like how great you are at your spiritual journey or how good you are at changing your mindset. The person you're focused on has free will. They don't have to do exactly what you do, and they probably won't do exactly what you do. They are a mirror, so in some ways they may do the opposite thing, and that is confusing. But not needing that person to be the only person that is capable of bringing love to you. And in the other, from the other side, it is allowing that person that you love to be the person who can give to you. So one person is resisting, like they're like learning to trust in someone else, and the other person is trusting themselves to be able to be free to go their own way. And that's where the dynamic is right now. But the last positions are the Love and the Chariot, completion, and some kind of a choice or decision. So basically you kind of have to give in and surrender this to the motion, to just go with the flow and to go where your heart leads you. And your heart overall is leading you towards something that is reciprocal, something where you give and receive equally. And for those of you that are like, well, I don't have any other options. I mean, one of the reasons you don't have any other options is because you feel you can't let go of this option. But that's an illusion, right? Remember, the Eight of Swords is an illusion. You can let go. You actually must let go. As long as you hold on to trying to control this dynamic, you're going to continue to cycle through these lessons. All right, I pulled separate oracles today for masculine and feminine. So I'll do the masculine first. And this is what he would say today. We've got Pig Spirit, use your mind wisely. And it is number 47. I am reminding myself of the right use of intelligence, a gift we all have that is meant to be used with love, compassion, and discernment. Intelligence means recognizing the value of intuition, partnered with smarts and common sense, which leads to intelligent solution. I am called to respect my analytical mind and use it for the highest good, recognizing that all facts must be considered even when they do not fit with what I know already. Spirit blesses us with wisdom when we are nudged to be open-minded. Thoughtful dialogues, whether with others or internally, as we mull over our ideas and what we have come to understand. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. Spirit blesses us with wisdom when I allow myself to be nudged into open-minded, thoughtful dialogues, whether with others or internally, as we mull over our ideas and what we have come to understand. I am intelligent and capable of clear-minded thinking, shaped by the wisdom I have accumulated and the intuition that will tell me when I have more learning to do because not all the facts are in. Now is a time that my decision-making powers are reliable, for I am in alignment and am in my keenest intelligence. So that is what the masculine energy needs to embrace. And we're getting the closure card. So this masculine energy needs to bring closure to the situation. This is your own mind needing to bring closure to being stuck on one person who is not reciprocating. And this is your person needing to bring closure to the situation, either with someone else in their life or with you. But there is this need for the masculine energy to finally close out a lot of the behaviors that he has just been willfully perpetuating that are causing this disconnect between head and heart. And the theme for the masculine energy to work on this week is temperance. So emotional regulation and that peace that he's really craving and reconciliation coming from within, believing in the divinely protected nature of himself and of the union, and really not allowing anger or resentment or excitement or anything to push him into extreme behaviors, but just being at peace within he needs to work on. Divine Feminine, your message. Coyote Spirit, trust in divine detours. This is number 16. And this is what the Divine Feminine would say. Sometimes a goal is so enticing and alluring that I lose my footing in the pursuit. I begin to fixate on capturing this prize, whether it be an opportunity I've always wanted, a relationship with that elusive someone, or the promise of that big break. But I am warning myself that this trickster energy seducing me now will yield nothing but disappointment and unnecessary heartache if I let myself be fooled. Great Spirit wants the best for me. So when my plans go topsy-turvy, I must remember to be present and to protect and bless myself. I must listen to this gentle warning not to take the world too seriously or become too attached to the form and timing of my desire. Something better is beckoning. If I learn my lessons and lighten my heart, it will not be long before I see that crooked though the path may have been, I was on the right one all along. This reading is right on point. You got 2 cards today, and it's life purpose and forgiveness. So you have been detoured away from your life purpose by focusing on one single individual. It sucks, but it's true, because there isn't another person that you need to be with in order to accomplish your life purpose. There is a huge myth in the Twin Flame Collective that you have to come together with your person in order to do your mission or whatever. But you know what? Did you hear the Twin Flame podcast about the Twin Flame cult that's run by these 2 people who claim to know everything about twin flames? All of the information about twin flames that you see on the internet or that you find from groups like this, it's all not based on any one source. It's diluted and distorted. And I just do not believe, and this is just me, and you can believe whatever you want, and I respect whatever you believe, whatever you feel is true for you. If it's true for you, I don't question your truth. But my truth is I would not be put onto a planet by a creator who would then set me up for disappointment for every single lifetime that I'm experiencing because another person can't do what I want them to do. That is just seeming like a bunch of bullshit to me. And, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll find out later that I was totally wrong about that. So be it. I just would rather live my life in a way where I'm honoring my own life purpose, and I don't need another person in my life to achieve my life purpose. And so the forgiveness that needs to happen is forgiving yourself from being taken off the course of your life purpose by focusing on an individual who you thought was your purpose, and finding out that person isn't your purpose, that your life purpose is so much bigger than that you have so much more to offer than just getting married. Like, are is it a Disney movie that we're in? Like, we just did find the prince and then we're happy? I don't understand. Like, it's not that's not what we fought for the vote for. Like, that's not what we fought to be able to try all of these different careers and to be taken seriously in all these different fields and to do all these different things. Like, that's not what we did all of that for. If we did, you want to turn the dial back to the, you know, anytime in from the last 100 years, you want to go back, go ahead, I guess. But that's not where I'm at. I want to be able to do all of the things that every human being here on the planet should be allowed to do. And I think that my purpose is really much more about what fills me up than whether or not I have a person who's with me on that journey. Now, it doesn't mean you're not supposed to have a companion or that you're not supposed to have partnership. It just means that isn't your life purpose. It's just one of the things. It's like living in a house isn't your life purpose, but it's nice to live in a house, right? Like, having the biggest mansion in the world is likely not your life's purpose, but if you have it, it's probably cool. Like, it's really just forgiving yourself for having gotten, confused about what your true purpose was, because I think a lot of the reason why it's hard to let go of somebody is because having to take the accountability of feeling that you might have wasted, even though you did not. Just like Francois looked back and said, I don't regret my time with Picasso. It might be this fear that, well, if this wasn't the direction I was supposed to go in, then I made all these choices for nothing. But that's not what you did. You made all of these choices to learn this in this moment, and this in this moment is pushing you towards your life's purpose. So you didn't do something wrong, and you have to forgive yourself for that feeling and take accountability. Like, I really should not have made my daily life about this person. Do you know how many hours I've listened to tarot readings in the last 3 years? And what I'm thankful for is that I was drawn to listen to tarot readers who taught me more about myself than about the dynamic with my person a lot. And thankfully, I learned what's important to me that isn't about being in union from those readers. But there's a lot of readings that I've listened to that weren't about that. And or just more about like what my person is thinking and doing and gonna do and how soon they're gonna do it and all that kind of stuff. And it is kind of like annoying to think about it, be like, why wasn't I watching a video on how to, market myself as a musician and how to like book shows and raise funds to do the dreams I want, because that would have taken me taking action towards my feminine energy. So rather than doing that, I focused on a man who was unwilling to take action towards his feminine energy, which in that case was me. And it was a long, tedious 14-year lesson. And it doesn't mean that this person won't eventually come and say, hey, I'm sorry. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. But then what do I say? What do I say? Because, I would have to really reconcile, right? And forgive this person for the years, at least 5 now, that I was just expected to like write to him twice a day while he went and dealt with his other women. What do you say to that? And that's why my person would have a hard time facing me, because he knows that to forgive for that is a very tall order. And that brings us to this final card for the feminine, which is that 6 of Cups. Remember, we already saw the 6 of Cups for her. It was the first thing out, actually. And it's very interesting because the Judgment card came out with the 6 of Cups and the Forgiveness card came out with the 6 of Cups. So I would have to forgive my person for the past. And it is likely that I would, because of the kind of person that I am, and because I'm understanding and compassionate and empathetic, and because I know that there wasn't malicious intent. There is every chance that I would be very forgiving. But in order to do that, I have to forgive myself for allowing that behavior to happen for so long, because I taught him how to treat me. And that's on me. Like, I really did say, it's okay for you to do this. Like, it's okay, until I didn't. But I didn't start laying down those boundaries, putting up the boundaries here until like this past June. So that's what the divine feminine has on her plate. The masculine has to forgive himself and regulate his emotions, and also, I think, believe in the peace and the connection. And the feminine really does need to just come to this peaceful place regarding her past, and I think reflect upon the past and all she's gained from it and how it has pushed her towards her life purpose, even if she got a little bit divinely detoured for a while. So that is all I have for you today for the collective tune in. I hope that it helps you, gives you some perspective, and some food for thought. And I will be doing the Divine Masculine Love Letter probably. I'm actually going to put it out tomorrow, and even though I'm usually off on Tuesdays, because I do need to still make enough money for my trip to pick up my son on Wednesday, and then I have to take him back all the way on Sunday. I will need to work tomorrow. So I'm going to be doing a special Tuesday, 9 a.m. I'll post the Divine Masculine channeled love letter tomorrow, and then I will go live tomorrow, and I will be off on Thanksgiving instead. So I won't be working Thursday this week, but I'll be working tomorrow instead. So you can catch me tomorrow for a treat if you're free at that time. And I will likely post a replay of the TikTok live to my Tuned In Tarot YouTube. I will post also last night's replay. I think I just didn't have a chance to. And for those of you who are members, or, oh my gosh, I'm just noticing I've got a couple more subscribers while I was talking. So thank you so much for subscribing. I will be reading cards for subscribers today. I'm reading 2 cards each for subscribers today because we hit the 11 subscriber goal, and now my next goal is 22 subscribers. Once I hit 22 subscribers, I will read 2 cards for anybody who's in the room as a treat. So whoever is my 22nd subscriber, you're basically gifting the entire room with readings, which is lovely of you. And from now on, if you are a subscriber and I see you during a live and you have a badge next to your name, I will be pulling 2 cards for you in response to questions. If you are a member of my site, which there's a link in my profile here or over here, you also receive access to the members only area. Subscribers receive a link to the Tell Me Everything extended playlists that goes all the way back through January. But members on my site have just access to a few different perks. And the only reason it's that way is because I can't give people here access. So I just give you the playlists that you need instead. Everyone has access to the Discord server. So if you have Discord or use Discord and you want to be interacting with me over there, I've been over there waiting for people to join me. We can share content with each other. You can ask me questions directly there. If you have questions about, readings or anything, just anything, you can ask me over there. I will answer them in the chat that's there. Once we have people participating over there, there will be voice chats, and I'm hoping to do a monthly movie that we all watch together virtually, like through Scener or one of those apps or something like that. So that is all available for subscribers and members. And if you'd like to book a reading, there is a link in the profile and in the description box below. And if you're wanting to get a discount, I will be on Black Friday through Cyber Monday. I will be running a sale. So if you want to wait to book your private reading, that's fine. I will be putting that code out on Friday, and I'm hoping that people take advantage of that because I definitely need a boost after taking a 6.5-hour trip and having to spend the money on gas. Our gas prices in Northern New York are not cheap. So, but that's going to happen on Friday. So if you're planning to book a private reading, that code will come out on Friday. I may release the code early to people who are in my lives. I just have to make it basically. So if you catch me live this week, you can have the Black Friday code in advance, but it's going to come out for everybody on a post on TikTok on Friday, and it will be active through Cyber Monday. So that's going to be happening this weekend. And I think of anything else. I think that's everything. This next Sunday, I also have to drive, so I will be doing an early morning live instead of the 4 p.m. I will be 7 or 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. So that's the only change in my schedule this week outside of being off on Thanksgiving. So thank you everybody for being here today. And I'm going to head over now to my TikTok viewers and read some cards for people who have subscribed today. And if anybody wants a personal reading, it's going to be $22 for a deep reading over on the TikTok. So thank you, YouTube. I shall see you next Monday. Have the best week.